Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Duke CT, back with you once again. Oh, I think this thing is a little bit. Let me just stop sharing right here because I know it's going a little bit wonky. But let me just see if it looks good. It looks good here, so I want to make sure it goes good over there. So anyway, how are y'all doing today? I hope you're doing well this evening on this Thursday Eve, this Thursday. And there's been big news. Big news in the world of wrestling. Big news. I mean, can't really escape the news of what happened. What happened to, well, here we are. Oh, Cody Rhodes. Let me just see if I can get the thing up. Hopefully, you can just share this time. And we just don't share tab audio. No audio. Good. All right. Let's see if it works. Okay. All right. Cody Rhodes and Brandi Rhodes have gone. And this is one of the biggest shots from AEW this week. Um, you know, it is probably one of the most biggest shocks of AEW, the biggest departures. What happened? Why did Cody and Brandi Rhodes leave? Was it the lack of storytelling? Was it this, that, the other? What is going on? But here's some stuff from the backstage stuff. A lot of it was the mood that was last night in AEW, which, by the way, the AEW Dynamite had a bit of a whoopsie waiting over 837,000. I'm like, okay, had a bit of a dip. People need to calm down on that. I mean, at least it's not as bad as the NHL, at least. At least it's over the NHL, which is always a good thing. So, right here it says, Cody is still expected to sign with WWE, but he's not inked a new deal at last word. It was reported on Wednesday that Brandi Rhodes was not expected to join Cody in WWE. There's a prevailing belief that within the WWE locker room that Rhodes fell out of power of AEW and wanted a significant raise. But it should be noted that neither Rhodes or AEW officials have mentioned this yet. There has been some excitement and shock over Rhodes likely return to WWE, and some of the top stars are reportedly ready to welcome back with open arms. One top time says Billy Rhodes' return will be great for fans. I consider it to be the most interesting thing in WWE at all time. Brandi is a shot of Brandi. Digital series is actually being pitched and shopped around as Brandi will retain the rights to the show. As there have been speculations of Brandi's pro wrestling future, as many believe she will continue to try to prove an in-ring career. And she was training at Nightmare Factory earlier this week. This is just the newest stuff here. But, this is, again, one of the biggest stories here. Some are saying this is a work. Some say it's not a work. I honestly think it is happened. Cody Rhodes is gone from AEW. And when you have this big news and big things, and people are sitting there and they're looking at this and they're like, why? Why is he leaving? Why did these two leave when they have all this power? And not only in AEW, but Turner loved them. They had the reality show, Roads to the Top, which got canceled because of all this, or it's on hold. Go Big Show, getting stuff beyond pro wrestling. And like he was actually happy, even if he wasn't on the show. In fact, there was stuff when he's not on the show or anything else. It's just the show is the show for the most part AEW Diamond doesn't revolve majority around Cody Rhodes. Heck, in some cases, Cody Rhodes doesn't even show up for most appearances and most shows, and hey, they still got over 1 million people watching. So Cody Rhodes is not the main reason why AEW took a dip last night. It happens. You move on. So what does but here this is more shocking because Cody Rhodes, like I said, he was one of the main founders of AEW. He was the main person right there. And, and going back to WWE, people saying this does hurt his legacy. I'm like, to me, it doesn't really hit his legacy that badly. Some say, oh, it's going to destroy his legacy. I mean, somewhat of a black eye if he goes to WWE. Maybe I just maybe it's not as there. I've been and seeing around all of that and saying that it's the worst thing out there. I'm like, compared to what the big stuff that's gone down, especially in this post speaking out world, I don't think it's as big as a black eye people think it is. Someone saying it, and I'm like, in the real world stuff and all that type of stuff, it's not that big of a black eye, in my personal opinion. When I see it from the real stuff, from the real type of like, oh gosh, the other stuff people say around pro wrestling. But someone say it might leave some dirt, but a bit of a dirt stain there on Cody Rhodes' legacy. And I'm like, someone say, yeah, if he does right in WWE, because he had the foundation, and he left because of money and trying and ideas and such. And honestly, I think Tony Khan, for the most part, did a pretty good job booking the show. In fact, they were just too grateful, too over. Like, you know what? People want to see the elite and the Cody Rhodes win a lot. They don't want to be like, oh, we have to lose. Or no, they want to see Kenny. They want to see Young Bucks. They want to see. All right, we don't like Cody. They want to see Cody win or lose or whatever. And Tony Khan booked them rightly. And there's sometimes they made some stuff mistakes, i.e., the whole, you know, I mean, that whole terrible that whole feud, America versus British feud. I mean, that stuff. But overall, I mean, they did a pretty good job of doing this with Tony Khan and everything. Tony Khan did a pretty good job booking, and Cody Rhodes and all this stuff ideas. You know, it, um, but yeah, this is again a big, and we don't know where he is. They say he might inked up, but the thing is, the deal has not been put to pen to paper yet. So whatever Cody Rhodes is leaving, Cody Rhodes might be not going to WWE. And since it'd be nice. Heck, I'm going to WrestleMania. It'd be nice to seeing him over there. It'd be great. I think it'll be nice since, well, I don't have much to go to. The only thing that's saving me is the indie stuff and me doing a review with Rowdy and everything. We're doing that stuff. But there's nothing else there. There's nothing. Legitimately nothing other than the indie stuff right now. That's just me. That's all I see. With Cody and everything else. Just, if Cody goes WWE and wins WWE title, I wouldn't be too upset. But then again, it'll be better than Lesnar versus Roman again with the titles with both championships again. Who knows? Maybe this happened. Maybe Cody wants to just re-sign with the new Ring of Honor or something. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe he wants to go and build Ring of Honor up or something. Maybe he believes that Cody Rhodes, his ideas will bring. Maybe he meet up with the Ring of Honor people with their new relaunch and saying, "Look, this relaunch. Maybe I can help people. Maybe I can build this stuff again. We can start building for Ring of Honor, his ideas. Because hey, when I was here the first time, with the Young Bucks and everyone else, we had this hot. We were hot, and y'all didn't. You didn't jump on that. Maybe he's gonna talk to Ring of Honor. I know that might be something out left field, but you know that's what I think is going to happen. I think maybe he might go to Ring of Honor or maybe an Impact or something like that. He might get a bigger, but I think he wants to be more control around his characters. But also, I think he wants to be in control. He wants to have, creative control, but also maybe booking power. And I don't see WWE ever letting him have that because at the end of the day, it's Vince McMahon. Even NXT, it's still Vince's show. And when old Papa Hunter was running it, it was still Vince's show. Right? Am I lying to you? You know? But that's why I think maybe that's going to be the real deciding factor. Because he has his money. He'll get paid. But I think his creativity is going to be the one that leads him to other places. And WWE, like it or not, that's Vince's house. And that's Vince's house. And you are not going to be able, and nobody, and I'll say this, nobody's going to beat Vince in his own house. But yeah. And then again, Cody Rhodes right there says he still wants to have fans watch AEW. That's just me. I mean, that's why I feel like it's creative control. And Cody Rhodes wants creativity, and maybe he sees talent. I mean, I honestly think if there was something like that, if Cody Rhodes, you know what? Screw it. I'd rather have Cody Rhodes booking in all of his Codyverse than what WE has done in the past many years. I think Cody would have been a lot more interesting behind the book with Roman Reigns and everyone else instead of just what WE has. I said it, and you know what? I am not wrong. Am I wrong? Am I lying? You know what? I'm not lying. No, I mean, let's be honest. Vince has lost it, and everyone else is not entertaining. Their storylines are not entertaining. Cody at least makes things interesting, at least. So I think that's what the main issue is. It's about control. It's about how everything is controlled with, how everything is locked up to it. And that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is what it is. Control. And I preach this because again, look at what this Cody Rhodes, his whole thing is that he likes his stories, all his matches about story and characters and everything else. He has a vision. And I don't think what Cody, maybe even Brandi sees it as well, they don't see AEW have that conflicting vision. That was probably the main issue. Maybe I'm just speculating and I could be 100% wrong, but there has to be a consistent vision. And I don't see that. I don't see a consistent vision with Cody and AEW at this point. There is no consistent vision. And the one thing that consistency will bring, one thing that will, one thing that people, Cody can bring is consistent vision. And sometimes it's work, you know. Um, that's what it is. Like somebody, oh, will it work? Will it not work? Will it work? Will people go and actually see this? Will people actually, you know, um, will be a part of that? Will people actually pay money to see Cody in his whole the Codyverse and all that type of stuff? Will this be the big thing that people will finally be like, okay, we will finally sit and watch this stuff because um, Cody Rhodes finally built, they finally did something not only that, but something interesting and something new. I think that that's going to be the main reason why, uh, you know, that's the reason why I believe that um, that's why I see, um, that's why I see what's going to happen at, in this whole structure is that, creativity is going to really bring Cody Rhodes back. I think creativity is going to make Cody into something, um, will probably be like, wow. I think, Cody's like, I got like, the consistency of vision. But that's just my personal opinion on this whole subject. And this could be getting bigger and bigger next week. Who knows what's going to be next week? Because look, I sat back and I waited. I made some tweets about it, but I wanted to do the right thing here and just sit back and wait until we see the full story. And right now, until we see him in WWE television, until we see him actually being promoted, by WE. Or wait, or anything else. Cody is just this very high lucrative free agent. Oh hell, he might just come back to AEW in a month or so. No one wants to even figure that thing out. He might just say, you know what? I can't get anything else. Creativity was not there. Guys, AEW, let's make this happen, Captain. Let's talk this out. Let's make this happen, Tony. I'm back on the con. I talked to the top con. Tony, we're going to do this. That's what's going to happen. Who knows? That could happen. So Cody, Brandi Rhodes is not forever gone from the Elite. So they're going to probably come back. They could come back maybe after 2 or 3 months. Who knows? But right now, it's just the creative. Maybe he's putting his feelers out there for old Cody Rhodes. The feelers out for creativity and for stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to take a small little break here and be right back. And we talk about some Wii U news, baby. The Wii U. The Wii U, ladies and gentlemen, is got the Wii U shop closing it down. Woo, buddy. There's going to be some fun stuff, and I'm going to talk about this right now. And right not now, but right after this little musical break here, we'll be live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be right back. Right after this.